the Metropolitan's relationship with the spiritual leaders of the Jewish community was not last-minute charity in the face of looming death, but a long-standing personal, professional, and intellectual friendship.
Archihegmon Sheptytsky promised Rabbi David Kahane that he will give him back all the children that he saved during the war. And they took me from Uniev to Lviv, and in Lviv came somebody from Rabbi David Kahana, took me to his flat and later to somebody else's apartment. And from there, they sent me to Palestine, to my parents who were waiting for me.
So this blanket was, I think, probably the official blanket of the Uniev monastery. And I covered myself with it throughout the horrible winters of Ukraine, and used it all through 1942 and 43, part of 44, and then carried it with me from Ukraine to Poland, and from Poland to England, and from England to the United States, and here we are. And I might add that it was also the blanket we very proudly used when my grandson had his circumcision.
Because I am here in Israel, I was the one who put the appeal to Yad Vashem in the names of all the others. I am the representative of all these children who were saved by Sheptytsky.
He was exposed. He was a most courageous man. He was, first of all, his humanity was such. He was almost a saint, a sanctity about this man. Plus, he endangered himself. He endangered the entire church, if you like, who kept us, because it was at his recommendation. So he is the head of it all. And he, in his own library, he kept a Rabbi Dr. Kahane, behind the wall, behind the books. And when they talk about collaboration or cooperation with the Germans, I mean, what sort of a thing is that if the Gestapo visited him sometimes once a week, sometimes once a fortnight, and you know, for inspection, to see, they looked around. For what? For whom? For the Jews, of course.
Today, there are over 2,000 Ukrainians recognized by Yad Vashem, the Holocaust Martyrs and Heroes Remembrance Authority, as righteous among the nations for their personal involvement in sheltering Jews during the Second World War. The title of Righteous Among the Nations has been granted by Yad Vashem to Studite brother Danilo Temchina, Sister Josefa Olanaviter, and to the Metropolitan's brother, Blessed Clementi Sheptytsky.
The gentleman Sheptytsky Clement got the honor as righteous in 1995.
Yad Vashem should award for saving lives. That is their premise, that is their emblem. Whosoever saves one life saves the world entire. They should not be political. They should be, like they were to begin with, a humanitarian organization. They award those wonderful, amazing, courageous heroes of the war, to me, heroes of the war, who didn't fight with weapons, they fought with their hearts.
I hope that the people in Jerusalem, in Yad Vashem, will come sooner or to the conclusion, to the decision to give him the honor that he deserves very much.
An Italian journalist was doing an interview with him, with the Judge Baisky, and at one given moment he asked him a question, something like, is there anything you regret in your life? Or, you know, like what is the nicest thing you remember? What is it? And he said, yes, I believe I made a mistake in the Sheptytsky case. And I have that, I have it among all the papers. That's what he said. I believe I made a mistake in the Sheptytsky case. And he died a few months later. So chances are that Yad Vashem maybe doesn't want to admit a mistake. Who knows? But that's what he said, and that's in writing. I have the name of the journalist, everything. Interesting, isn't it?
Until now, I don't have the response on my request. They delay the decision more and more because they look for another reasons.
Metropolitan Sheptytsky is the only head of church, only one who during that time, during the darkest hours in history, had the courage to oppose the regime, to oppose the fact, I mean, who was writing letters to Himmler and to Hitler and to Wächter? Who? But he, no other head of state. And that includes the Pope very much so. The letters were not answered. The Pope never answered the plea which Metropolitan sent to him in his second letter, telling him what is happening, murder, so please help, nothing, not an answer, nothing. And no other head of state did what he did. He actually had the courage to write, to do pastoral letters. I mean, he couldn't stand there and talk, but he wrote, and his pastoral letters and asked his people not to be involved in murders, and asked Himmler not to involve his people in these murders. I mean, who else did that? Nobody. No other head of state of church. No other head of church.
I owe my life to him. So obviously I am totally biased in his favor.
Apart from anything else, this man, this wonderful man, the Metropolitan, should really, really be never forgotten. He should be remembered, but as I say, maybe by doing an annual award to a history, to some very, very inspirational history teacher who will teach these children the right things so that this world is better, because the world is not very good now. And then that award should be in his name, because this is how he would have wanted it to be, a good world. Or maybe a scholarship to a student, to someone who can't afford but would like to study. I think this is how you can commemorate a man, to in perpetuity, to leave something for him. What do you think? You think yes? You think not? Yeah?
I'm most pleased that the Ukrainian Jewish Encounter is honoring the memory of Metropolitan Andrey Sheptytsky and his role in saving Jews during World War II. By honoring his memory, we are also honoring the Uniate Church, which he headed, and the Basilian Brothers of the Studite Order. We are especially honoring the memories of the Metropolitan's brother, Saint Clementi, of Dr. Gabriel Kostelnik, of Sister Josefa, of Brat Marko Stek, of Brat Denio Temchina, and many others to me unknown by name, who in a world gone mad had the courage to answer the ancient biblical question, Hashomer Achi Anochi, am I my brother's keeper, in the affirmative. It took the cooperative involvement of a large number of people who risked their lives to save Jews in those days. It is a fact that despite the involvement of so many people, there was not a single case where the presence of Jews was betrayed. How many Jews did they save? Historians tell us that the number was between 150 and 200. But the Talmud tells us that the saving of a single life is equivalent to the saving of a whole world. I would amend that. The saving of a single life is equivalent to saving many worlds. By saving the life of a 7-year-old boy, they saved my 3 children, my 7 grandchildren, and an unknown number of worlds yet to come. It pains me that my people have not yet seen fit to honor Archbishop Sheptytsky. That in no way detracts from his honor, it detracts from ours.